Hello everybody and welcome back. It's me, Shweeby. For the last 2 years, I've been having a constant battle with the YouTube AI disabling comments on my videos. There are a few of you in the community who are well informed of this and have to reach out to me via competitor sites just to let me know that comments have been disabled on a video, generally multiple times throughout the day. I have made a couple of posts about this on my community tabs and have reached out to YouTube team via Twitter, letting them know that I was having issues, only to be constantly sent back and forth the copy and paste standard bot issued reply to my query. This year, however, I've taken upon myself to get a hold of Google YouTube support help and to try to get down to the bottom of this and why it is continuously attacking almost every single type of video I upload. Not always gameplay, sometimes it's vlogs, doesn't even matter what the game is, sometimes it's my live streams, it doesn't matter, comments are getting disabled, and none of the videos or streams that I am posting go against terms of service, community guidelines, or the newest installment of COPPA and all of that. I have over 48 emails over the course of 5 months trying to get down to the bottom of this and to get a single answer from YouTube or Google support to tell me why this keeps happening. Now, this happened in 2 different batches. Now, before I go into sharing the emails with you, of which I will most likely only share the second half of them because the second half actually has people responding and talking to me instead of the usual copy and paste bot response that everybody is so used to seeing. I am going to share with you the default settings on my channel that has not changed since they were first introduced. So here on my channel advanced settings under the newest COPPA edition, no, set this channel as not made for kids. I never upload content that's made for kids. If you have been a member of this channel at all during the 6 years that I have been doing YouTube, almost 7 years I have been doing YouTube, I do not make content for children. I cater towards an older audience because that is the kind of content I am interested in. Going to my upload defaults under advanced settings, I have it set to allow all comments. At one point, I did have it set to hold potentially inappropriate comments for review. Never once have I ever selected disable comments, which I have also addressed this on my channel. I would not post a video that I wouldn't want some kind of interaction or engagement with. If someone posts something that's just horrendously negative, I will report and block that person. I will not disallow everyone to comment on that video. I just don't see the point in that. Unless I honestly do, I will mention that in the video, saying, no, comments are not going to be allowed on there for whatever reason. But beyond that, I have not once out of the 1.5 thousand videos that I have made, including streams, have ever purposely disabled comments on my channel. And as for the Google portion where you need to have a profile in order to create a YouTube channel, that is all filled out with full accessibility. There's no parental controls because I myself am old enough to be a parent. It has my date of birth, which is August 26, 1989. And it also has 2-step verification on there. I have my own Google AdSense account linked to my own bank account. Yet somehow, I am still getting disabled comments on almost any and every single type of video that I make. Whether that is a shorts, whether it is a video, whether it is a live stream, doesn't matter. At some point, one of them is getting pegged for disabled comments for some reason. Now going to the emails, as I had mentioned, there are 2 separate batches. I'm not actually going to read through the first one, but I'm just going to show you that yes, there is indeed 2 separate batches. This one started in March of this year. And I had reached out to this fellow, and it was very helpful. Immediately talked to me as if I was a person, thought it was very strange that I was having these issues. And sure enough, they had mentioned that, a lot of the times when they disable comments, it's to protect minors and stuff. And, millions of videos could put minors at risk, which I am all for protecting kids to a point. However, why, if my video is made for general public viewing, which is what basic YouTube's videos are for, why are you disabling my content as if I had made it for kids when there is a YouTube Kids? I had also made mention to several of the people in this chain that I myself look very young and mistaken for a minor quite often in both my real life and online. So it could be that. Who knows? But this just goes on, and there's a copy and paste stuff. I had posted some shorts, posted some videos. This was right around the time of my break, and sure enough, I got ping-pong back and forth from one representative to another, and they really couldn't give me an answer. And I will admit, by the end of this, when I started giving them, like my more recent shorts in May, I started getting impatient with it because it kept disabling them, and the thing is, when you ask them to look into a video that has its comments disabled, they tell you, don't touch it, allow us to look at it. The problem with that is it can take anywhere from a day to a week to maybe 2 weeks before they actually get back to you on that. So you'll miss out on engagement, possible watch time, because, I don't know, some people that come across videos where they can't comment on, they'll go, well, clearly this is fishy, or this person doesn't like to hear opinions and whatever. And it sucks for the creator and for the viewers that want to interact and engage with that video. So that is all of this. This went from March to June. Now, for those of you who know, I had taken a vacation in June and came back roughly in July. Sure enough, the first few videos I posted in July started getting disabled comments. The travel vlog, one of my my membership videos started getting disabled comments, gameplay videos. A lot of games tend to get them, but a lot of it's the horror games, and I don't understand that one. Anyways, I'm going to be sharing you these emails specifically. So the very first person I talked to is a representative named Liliana. She says, my apologies, I'm sorry that your comments on your videos keep getting disabled. I'm going to bring this to our specialists. If you could do not change the comment settings on your videos that get disabled, that way we can take a look at it. Having already done this for about 3 months prior to this, I immediately go, is there any other way we can do this? I don't appreciate having comments disabled on videos for days on end, missing out on engagement from my community or possible newer community members. I have already done as was asked 3 separate times with other team members, which is true. According to what you told me in our previous conversation was that the last team had dubbed it fixed when it clearly was not fixed. Remember how I mentioned I had taken a break because I wasn't continuously responding to them via emails? They dubbed it fixed because I hadn't said anything. But the last email I had gotten from them, which I will show you, the very last email I had gotten, thanks for getting back to us. I've passed your videos on to our internal team for review. Our team is still looking into it, but rest assured that once a fix is in place, you'll see it live on your channel. We appreciate your patience and understanding on this matter. So me not saying anything means that it was fixed? I don't think so. Going back to this, I do not feel comfortable leaving my comments disabled for that amount of time for nothing to have been done yet again. Is there some other thing that could be making this happen where we can get a solution without me having to sacrifice engagement? Not trying to be difficult, and I realize this may come across as me sounding sour about the whole situation, but it's going on for more than a year now with no results at all. Mind you, before I even bothered trying to do all this email stuff, I had been reaching out to Team YouTube on Twitter, as I'd mentioned before, and all I received was bot responses and, oh, we'll email you. They never once emailed me. All of this emailing is me reaching out to them physically. And then we get a new representative, Jack, stepping in on behalf of Liliana. Who's also sorry that this is happening. He's raised this whole situation to the specialists as well, and he would like to inform me that there is a chance that our system identifies your channel or content as made for kids to comply with COPPA or other applicable laws. They limit data collection on content designated as made for kids. As a result, certain features may be restricted or turned off in this content, including notifications and comments. Including notifications and comments. I didn't actually catch the notifications part until just now. So would that also mean, that's probably also why a lot of my notifications don't get sent to people, because for some reason the system is assuming that the content I am making is for kids or that I myself am a minor. Sorry if I seem kind of riled up about it, but at this point I am pissed. What also gets me with this is, why is the system assuming that the content that I am making that I know is not made for kids is saying it's made for kids. Are you about to tell me that you are disabling comments on my videos and then pushing my videos to kids? Is that what that means? Good Lord, I hope that's not the case, because none of my content is made for kids. It is made for an older audience that is not kids. There is swearing, adult themes, adult humor, gore depending on what it is I'm playing. Stuff that most kids probably should not be watching depending on their parent and what they're okay with. Now moving on to the next email, I mentioned that I have a sneaking suspicion that the system is assuming that I am a minor because I've got a baby face. Literally, I have a baby face. This affects me in real life. It affects me online. Anytime anybody first meets me in stream, they're like, oh my God, I thought you were like 17. I am almost 33. Thank you. Or my content is possibly targeted as made for kids. I have stated a couple times that I myself am 32 years of age and can prove this if needed with documentation, as in I am willing to let Google and or YouTube have some kind of physical proof that yes, I am the age that I say I am, and that no, I don't want to make content for children. I do not make any content for children. All my content, videos, and streams are for older audiences because I feel adults don't get enough content nowadays anyways. Moving on to the next email, Jack goes, we truly appreciate your high understanding and would like to answer your question. As you may have known, we use machine learning to help us identify videos that are clearly directed to young audiences, and we advise you not to rely on our systems to set your audience for you because our systems may not identify content that the FTC or other authorities consider to be made for kids. I did also mention that I use a cartoon avatar and was curious if maybe the system was assuming, because it's a cartoon, that that is inherently made for kids. So this is where this next statement comes. As stated above, we use technology such as our machine learning system. There could be a chance that your cartoon avatar contributes to your issue. Having that said, our specialist is already looking into it and hopefully we can hear back from them soon. So at this point, I had taken a little break just to give them time to actually look into the situation, thinking maybe they'll come up with something now that I have given them more information than what maybe was previously given. I.e., none of my content is made for kids, and I have a cartoon avatar, and the fact that I look really young, but am in fact a legal adult. So the next email they sent was, hope you're all is well, just sending you a follow-up email regarding your comments issue. They're still investigating it. As of right now, they don't have any updates. We'll notify you once we hear something back. To which I respond with a thank you for keeping me up to date, and I appreciate all the help I am receiving with this, just to let them know that yes, I am still very much invested in this situation and keeping a watchful eye on the emails for any kind of update. And this goes to the third person, Jen. I'll be happy to assist you further with your concerns on behalf of my colleague Jack. I'm aware that you're still waiting for updates regarding your comments that keep being disabled on your channel. I can check on the status of this for you. I've been able to check and there are still no updates regarding the ongoing review. I'll make sure to follow up on this as soon as possible and continue to update you until I'm able to hear back from our internal team. Thanks for bearing with us as we work on this concern. Meanwhile, you may want to learn more about YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then they send me a link. Again, I gave them a little bit more time to look into the situation, thinking, okay, there's a new set of eyes. Maybe they'll see something that the others didn't, or even I missed. So Jack gets back to me, going, thanks for your patience. I hope you're doing well. I'm sending these updates about your video comments issues. Please refer to the information below. I took the liberty to check your videos, and it appears to me that your comment is now back after your appeal was reviewed. I didn't send an appeal. I wanted them to see why it got disabled in the first place. This is one of my biggest issues with having so many different people working on one freaking subject. Because the first person I spoke to, I had mentioned, I just want to know why the system is disabling my comments. Because if we can figure that part out, maybe we can fix it. I didn't send an appeal for anything because I can still physically turn my comments back on. It's not that it's disabled and I can't turn it back on. It's the fact that I can turn it back on, but the system will come back and turn it back off. And I have to do this at least 5 times a day. Every day I have to do this. Here's some information I would like to share about content that is not allowed on YouTube. A video featuring minors involved in provocative sexual or sexually suggestive activities, challenges, and dares such as kissing or groping. Showing minors involved in dangerous activities, for example, physical stunts, using weapons or explosives, or using a controlled substance like alcohol or nicotine. A video with tags like for children, or whose audience is set to, yes, it's made for kids, featuring family-friendly cartoons engaging in inappropriate acts like injecting needles. As if I didn't already know that. First of all, what minor are you detecting in any of my stuff? This is where I'm certain it's gotta be the system thinking that this is a minor. I cannot change this. This is my face. And then, for this last part, for going, or whose audience is set to yes, when I have already said multiple times it's not, drives me up a freaking wall. Can you tell? I can tell. I'm absolutely heated about this. So here is my lengthy book of an email that I send back. My comments are back due to me continuously turning them all back on at least 5 times a day. I've spoken to many different people about this issue, and from what I've gathered, it has something to do with YouTube's AI. I can only assume it's the AI thinking my channel is meant for kids when it's clearly not, either because of my cartoon-esque avatar or the fact that I myself look incredibly young for my age. I'm 32. I am constantly mistaken for a 15-year-old both in life and online. It doesn't matter the thumbnail or the content of the video. I have tested this theory to see if maybe it was just my face, maybe if it was the cartoon avatar, or maybe if it was video games, or if it's a vlog. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They still get pegged. My videos are randomly being targeted to have comments disabled, which is an inconvenience to myself and my community for the inability to engage with those videos. To the point where I have several members who will DM me on other sites, to alert me that comments are disabled. They'll leave their comments in those DMs instead of putting them on the video, even after the comments have been turned back on, which is unfair to me as a creator and unfair to the viewer trying to interact with the content provided. I quoted the 3 bullets that they sent me and said, I am well aware of how YouTube is protecting children on the site. I am also aware of the policies in place in the community guidelines. You're looking at somebody that follows the guidelines to a T? I have not received 1 community guideline strike. That is how good I am. I make sure that none of my stuff could possibly get me in trouble because I ain't about that life. I am just trying to spread joy and happiness in my own adult way. And I state again, absolutely none of my content is made for kids. Not a single video or stream is set for yes, made for kids. All of my content is set by default to not made for kids. My demographic and target audience is for adults. And actually, if you look at my demographic, it says 18 to 40. That's how good I am. Just because I am using a cartoon-esque avatar, which was gifted to me by someone in my community, or the fact that I have a baby face does not mean that the channel is meant for kids, or is even family-friendly. There are hundreds of thousands of accounts that use cartoon anime as their profile and are clearly understood to be for adults, or not for kids. As for my appearance, there is literally not much I can do with that. I appreciate the help that I'm receiving with this situation, but I need a better solution to this. I have offered multiple times to prove that I am the age that I claim and that my channel is not made for kids. I am still more than willing to do this. Is it at all possible to put a footnote or something that will tell the AI to stop assuming that my channel is somehow made for kids and to stop disabling comments when it's unnecessary? You're gonna love these next few emails. This is the next one that I get from Jack. Kind of copy and pasty. It goes, I hope you're doing well. I understand you want to overcome the situation. However, we don't have any way where you can provide us with documents that will trigger our system to bypass or recognize you instantly. I don't understand how you don't have something that you can type in or even like scan that goes, this is this person, here's proof, when Facebook has been doing it for now, like, for what, 4 years or something? It's a requirement before you can even open an account on there anymore, unless you were grandfathered in. We can only appeal for your comments whenever it gets disabled due to our child policy. We know that you're aware of this, and we hope that there's another way. So, to me, this sounds like the child policy is now this bright and shining God that has full control over the entire system. But it's unfairly attacking me when none of my stuff has anything to do with, like, meant for kids or children in general, but my stuff is still being targeted. You see the problem with that. And here's yet again a paragraph from me. To make sure that I understand, the child policy is to automatically assume any and all cartoons or persons that happen to look young immediately have their comments disabled? Am I correct in this understanding? That would mean any creator that goes to choose if their video is made for kids or is not made for kids is wasting their time selecting either of those options, because the system is going to supersede that even if the creator has good credibility, i.e., no community strikes, is accurate with their checks, follows TOS, and so on. Because if that's the case, then animators must go through a heck of a time with their content, and as for other persons that happen to look really young, when they are in fact adults and, well, must also feel attacked from this form of prejudice. But I digress. I appreciate all the time, energy, and patience from everyone that has helped me with this, but it looks like at this point there's absolutely no help or solution that can be offered due to a flaw in the system. I would like to make a recommendation where creators are required to put in a date of birth with proof of some form. That way it can help the system know that the person is legally an adult, and that if a creator has good credibility on their channel when they select their content is made for kids or is not made for kids, that the system can trust that that person knows what they're doing. And if a viewer feels like they do not meet acceptable guidelines, they can report the video as always. And as for the birth date thing, you need to put one in your Google profile anyways. Google still owns a good portion of YouTube, so why not have the two correlate in that retrospect? And you can go, okay, this person said that they're born in 1989. Let's just, verify that somehow. Oh, good, you are actually the age you say you are. Cool. Whatever. At least if you're going to have, like, an actual, like full-fledged you're posting videos account. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a bit much, but at this point, if that's what it will take to keep the child policy from lording over content that it has no business lording over, good grief. And at this point, there's still so many more emails that continue on, because I will admit, at this point, I was so stressed and annoyed because I was basically told there's nothing that can be done because of the child policy. But they continued to email me, and I continued to email back because I started getting a little petty. Because, sure enough, it goes to a whole new person. Someone named Red, and I don't believe that's your name. Just letting you know. Actually, I don't believe any of these are anybody's names. Y'all could just be pulling them out of a hat for all I know. I'll be happy to assist you further with your concerns on behalf of my colleague, Jack. I'm aware that you're still waiting for updates. Oh, look, another copy and paste one! Haven't we already seen this one like 3 times? To which I respond, please continue to keep me updated, as I am still to this day having issues with video comments randomly being disabled. It does not matter the genre of the video either. It can be a vlog or it can be a video game. The one that really confuses me are the horror video games that I post are being disabled. Because if the system is saying that it's the child policy doing this for the protection of minors when I am not the minor, how is you disabling the comments on that video protecting a minor when they can still view the content? What? How is that fair to the creator? That's also not fair to the kid. Are you just preventing them from interacting with it? Or, like, what's the purpose of that there? Because there's why are they watching the video to begin with, if that's what your main concern is? Why allow them to watch it? Why are you disabling my comments for the actual target audience? And then sure enough, it goes to yet another person. Someone named Dream. I really don't believe that's your name. Stepping in on behalf of my colleagues, and this is just a follow-up email regarding the disablement of comments on your 4 videos. I had sent them, at the beginning of this email chain, 4 videos that had their comments disabled that I kept having to turn back on, and told them I am not going to just leave them alone and risk losing engagement just for y'all to look into it. Because what they have told me in the previous batch is that if I change it manually, or if anybody changes a disabled comment thing to an allow comment, that it for some reason erases the original ping as to why the system said, no, that's incorrect, that needs to be disabled or whatever. So they have no idea why it got disabled. Maybe I'm just not techie enough to understand why that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense to me. Going back to this, they go, I would like to share with you that the comments on the videos in question are now working as intended. Feel free to contact us again if you still have additional questions or other concerns aside from this one. See, this is my other issue with having so many people work on one thing, is they don't go back and read the previous emails. They have no idea what's already been done. Why am I being bounced around from person to person to person if no one's going to share notes? As I've stated in a couple of these emails, the reasons the comments are appearing to work is because I am manually turning them all back on. I have to do this numerous times throughout the day. Today's video also had its comments disabled. This is a continuous issue that I am still having to deal with to this day. Any updates or actual fixes for this would be greatly appreciated. Until then, I patiently wait for an update. So they reply, going, I really appreciate you bringing this to our attention. I know how important this is to be sorted out. I'm more than happy to assist you with this further. The videos that I was referring to are the 4 that were provided that encountered comments disablement before. The ones that I originally provided at the very beginning of this email chain. We're only halfway through this, by the way. If you don't mind me asking, do you still encounter a problem with the comments with these videos? If not, would you mind sharing the video URL of the video in question so we can look at it closely? I'm more than willing to check it further for you. Again, just proof that whatever I am writing and sending to some of them, they're not reading. They're skimming at and just assuming that the words mean one thing when clearly it means something completely different. Where I am saying all of my videos, I gave you these 4 to look at, but all of my videos, or at least 8 times out of 10, my videos are getting hit with disabled comments. As of right now, those 4 videos appear to be fine. The system will randomly disable comments on videos. It doesn't matter if they are old or new. I notice it more on the newer videos because my community reaches out to me on other sites and platforms to notify me. I had actually gone and taken a day to go through all 1.5 thousand videos and streams to see what got disabled. I had close to 235 videos. 235, give or take, that were disabled comments. That's including streams, that was including shorts, that were just randomly disabled. That's why I just go through and I do a bulk manual allow all comments, because every once in a while I'll have people comment on older videos, and I don't want them to miss out on the possibility of engagement. Back to the email, my Hungry Lamoo video, as soon as it went live, the comments were immediately disabled. And I said that this is a horror game that uses cartoons in the beginning and then quickly takes a turn to PS1 horror-esque graphics. This game, I would not let a child see, unless the parents were totally okay with that. And of course, my community reached out to me to let me know on other sites that this video too had the comments turned off. I've manually turned them back on 3 times due to the system continuously trying to turn them back off. The video does not breach terms of service, community guidelines, COPPA, or child policy. It is perfectly acceptable for the general viewing public to see, as many thousands of other creators have also played this game and uploaded it onto YouTube. I am still bulk turning comments manually to allow all comments at least 5 times each day. Nothing has changed, and if anything, it appears to be worse than before. And I don't know if that's because I am now reaching out, or if it's because I am battling the system. The system is going, well, we're going to have to fight 10 times as hard to make sure that we're doing the right thing, or I don't know. It's annoying at this point and very disheartening and makes me just not want to bother most days. And sure enough, I get a copy and paste response. It goes, I understand you have a concern about your video's comment getting disabled. I know how important this is to be sorted, so I immediately brought your concern to the attention of our specialists. Right now, I'm still waiting to hear an update from them. It may take more time than usual to respond, so we humbly ask for your patience. In the meantime, if you have any other concerns, reach out to the help center. Of which, this is where I start getting a little more petty. I made my own copy and paste response where it goes, please continue to keep me updated as I am still to this day having issues with the video comments randomly being disabled. Does not matter the genre of the video either. It can be a vlog or it can be a video game. The one that really confuses me are the horror video games that I post are being disabled. My community has reached out to me on other competitive sites that my video comments are turned off again. I have to manually turn them back on at least 5 times a day due to the system continuously trying to turn them back off. The videos do not breach TOS, community guidelines, COPPA, or child policy, and are perfectly acceptable for the general viewing public to see, as many thousands of other creators have also played similar games and uploaded them onto YouTube without any issues. They reach out again with yet another copy and paste, going, I understand how important this is to be completely addressed, no worries. Once I have more information regarding this matter from our team, rest assured I will absolutely get in touch with you and let you know about it. If you have any more questions, reach out to the help center. So I responded with an actual URL to a video that I was still having the issue with, being the Ruin Valley demo. As soon as that went live, disabled comments, and I had to turn this on 3 separate times. And again, I state that the video does not breach terms of service, community guidelines, COPPA, or anything like that. It's perfect for the general viewing public and is not made for kids. For those of you that don't know what I mean by general viewing public, is that just general people, provided they are 13 years of age and up, because apparently like 12 and under is where YouTube Kids is supposed to go. So if that's the case, and I'm physically labeling my stuff as not made for kids, that means it should have access to general public viewing. Why is the system going behind me and saying that this, of all things, is clearly meant for kids? Is it because it's a video game? Because I am here to tell you, not every video game is meant for kids, okay? Just because it is a game, it is not meant for kids. And I give them a little bit of time to possibly come up with a better answer, or at least some kind of solution for me. They reach back out, and of course, this is a copy and paste response, and it goes, I really appreciate your effort in sharing additional information about your comments being disabled. I'd like to let you know we raised the channel to our specialist. Why are you using the word specialist so much? Do you think just using a big fancy word is going to make the problem automatically disappear? Because it hasn't. Over the past 5 months, over the past 2 years I've been having this issue. It hasn't. Rest assured that they're working as hard as they can in your case. Once we have more details, blah, 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 help center. Got it. Again, I gave them like a little bit more time to give me something, anything as an actual like solution or response. And it goes to yet another person. Another person. And he goes, this is Clyde. I'm stepping in for Dream. I apologize for the delayed response. I understand how concerning it is for you knowing that comments on your videos keep on getting disabled. I can imagine what you're feeling right now, especially that it's an additional work for you to get it turned on again. Please allow me to share the update from our specialist. I've gotten a response from them, and I'm saddened to inform you that at this time, we don't have a way to safeguard the channel from being tagged by the system against our child safety policies. I understand that this may not be the outcome that you're expecting. However, we would need to escalate each video every time it happens while we improve our product features. In the meantime, I can send them feedback. You want to know I was so upset and angry when I received this email. I was crying. I was so freaking mad that it took me up to this point from March to August to get them to finally tell me the truth. I was so freaking mad that there is no solution. They have no way to put something in there saying this channel is not made for kids. This person is an adult. System, leave them alone. Nothing. And it took so many different people for me to contact, for them to put me to a specialist. It took them this long to just tell me that there's nothing they can do. I was livid. The emails that I have sent have never been this emotional. They have all been very professional. They have worded my irritation, but without putting down people or anything like that. But has expressed my absolute disdain for this AI and this child policy, just kind of targeting unnecessarily myself and thousands of others. I've seen others that are going through this as well. But I am putting my literal foot down on this bull crap, and I've had enough, especially after that last email. And this is my wordy email response to them. So this means I will continue to be targeted and harassed by the YouTube AI, that I would literally have to send every single video that has its comments disabled your way to look into it, which, mind you, could take anywhere from a day to a full week before I hear anything about it. That my community would not be able to engage with my content and have to go to competitor sites just to inform me that the comments are disabled, that my own engagement and watch time would suffer because I'm being unfairly blocked by the system. And over what? Is it the fact that I look young? I can't change that. Is it my cartoon avatar? Millions of other channels use cartoons for both avatars and animations and don't go through all of this. This is wildly unacceptable and frustrating to deal with as a content creator, and just as frustrating for my viewers trying to interact with content I provide. At this point, my choices are either power through and notify everyone what's going on and to deal with it because the system has a metaphorical hard-on for me. Or I go to a competitor site and take my fan base with me. I love YouTube. It has been one of the greatest experiences in my life, but these last 2 years of dealing with this bullying by the system is ridiculous, and I'm being told that absolutely nothing can be done about it. Why write up an AI to do mass work if you don't have complete control over what it can and cannot do, especially down to individual channels that are in high standing with community guidelines, TOS, COPPA, and has had no strikes whatsoever on their channel? I'm going to be mulling over my choices for the next few days. Obviously, there's more emails after this, but I will admit that that's part of the reason why you haven't seen a whole lot of videos recently, and I have been either not posting anything or I have been doing streams, is because at this point, what is the point? If I'm just going to be unfairly attacked by the stupid AI and its so-called reasoning as to how my content is somehow made for kids. And to learn that it also affects notifications, because it is assuming that either I myself am a minor, that somehow there's a minor in my videos, which again would be only me because you don't see anybody else, or that the content is somehow for kids, which no, it sure as hell is not. As again, adult themes, adult humor, swearing, blood, guts, and gore depending on what I'm playing. A lot of the horror games I would not recommend for kids to see. And honestly, even if it is an actual kids game, the content that is added, the commentary that is added, cannot always be made for kids and or family friendly. I have seen plenty of people play like the Barbie games or the baby games that you can find online and have some horrendous commentary that is so absolutely not made for kids. Are those being pushed to kids just because they happen to be playing some children's game? Do you see the flaw here? Moving on to the next email, I will admit, out of everybody that I've worked with so far, Clyde is probably one of my favorites because instead of sending me a bunch of copy and paste BS, they're at least talking to me as if I am a human that is irritated with a product and is trying to find a solution. Because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that if I can find a solution for me, maybe this will provide a solution for somebody else going through the same bullcrap. They go, I totally understand your sentiments toward the information provided. I know that it's not easy to send each and every video for review whenever the comments get disabled. I'd like to exhaust everything to make sure that we'll be able to come up with the best resolution for this concern. I'll reach out again to our internal team to see if there's any other option to do it. While I cannot guarantee that the resolution will change, I'll make sure to update you as soon as I hear back from them. Thanks for your cooperation. So this is my most recent email that I've sent as of August 14th. I haven't received a reply yet. I generally don't get anything until about 2 a.m. my time. But basically what it's stating is I now have a plan. Since the AI seems to be bound and determined to interfere with almost every video, I'm going to be running some experiments to see, hopefully, what it's possibly targeting. I'll be making videos that will have very specific things turned on or off from my usual videos to hopefully pinpoint what the issue is. With these experiment videos, if YouTube does disable the comments, I will leave them off and send them your way to see what the system is pinging them for. I will also be notifying my community, and I'll just take the missing engagement until I've heard back on why the video's comments were disabled. I will be making that whole portion right there another video, just in case anybody misses this one. Just reminding you all that there are going to be some experimental videos. Basically what that means is you can expect maybe a video without webcam. You can expect some kind of crazy video that like distorts my voice or something. Just to see, possibly, what the system is pinging me for. Maybe to give them an answer. Maybe to possibly tell them, put this line of code in or something. I don't know. Anything at this point. Because it is so frustrating to try and make content now when, granted, I've been dealing with this for 2 years and it's gotten worse this year for whatever reason. Almost every single friggin' video I post. Streams are kind of hit and miss. Not sure what that's all about. My entire Pokemon Brilliant Diamond series, every time the stream got done processing, the comments were disabled. Why? Because it's Pokemon? Everybody plays Pokemon. Are you kidding me? That is not a kids-only game. Is it because my cute little avatar was on the thumbnail? Screw you. That's an adult, okay? That's me. Alright? Still not made for kids. And if you watch that stream, that is not made for kids. So this is what I have been dealing with. In case any of you just weren't sure what was going on, or maybe you've come across and you've notified me, and if you're one of the people in my community that have been notifying me that a video's comments have been disabled, thank you. I really, really appreciate you letting me know. Because without that, I wouldn't have known. Some of them, I don't even know until hours later. So now, anytime a video goes live, I generally have like my phone with me and I have an alarm go off or something that'll say video went live and I can check it, but that's not always the case. There are some days where I'm busy trying to live my life outside of YouTube because I am an adult, I have boring adult crap to do, so I get a notification from whoever going, hey, just to let you know, your comments are disabled on today's video, and I'm like, are you serious? I got a reply back from the last email, and I wanted to share it with you all because this will actually be an answer for anybody and everybody that is having their comments randomly disabled. So, and again, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Clyde because he's been the only one to give me a straight up answer as to what the problem is. The response email that I got was, I really appreciate your cooperation in trying to figure out how we could fix the issue with your videos being impacted by our child safety policy that causes the comments to be disabled. I understand that comments play an important role in viewer engagement, and I'll be happy to share more information about it. I appreciate your initiative in experimenting on your videos to see what's really the cause as to why the videos are being tagged to be in violation of our child safety policy. What you've come up with is a really great suggestion. Now, I've received an update from our internal team, and we've exhausted all of our resources to get this sorted out, and at this time, we really cannot safeguard the channel since we have automated systems in place to make sure that all videos uploaded to YouTube are compliant with our policies. I know this may be a lot of work to do, however, in any case that a video gets scanned again and the comments get disabled, please reach back out to us and we can look into this further. Child safety policy applied on the video might impact search and discovery, but it will not affect all traffic sources. I understand that this may not be the outcome that you're expecting at this time. We're only able to review it on a video level. Rest assured that we're striving hard to improve our products and services. If you have any further questions or concerns, reach back out. Again, huge shout out to Clyde for answering the question that I have had for the last 2 years as to why comments keep getting disabled and just outright saying exactly what the issue is. So just to reiterate what's already been stated in these emails, is if you are getting disabled comments and it is in fact due to the child safety policy, not only will your comments be affected, but your notifications, your search, and discovery. As Clyde mentioned, not all traffic sources will be affected by this. However, that does explain a lot for the ones that I have had comments disabled on. They don't get nearly as high views even after I have corrected it. And in comparison to videos where they don't get affected, those will get a lot higher views. It's just frustrating. I'm really hoping with these experiment videos that I will be sharing with them should they get pinged for whatever reason, and I'll ask why, that maybe, hopefully, that this can help them better design or edit the system to not go after things like this, and that can that it can also affect other channels in a positive way. Go after the ones that are actually going against the child safety policy as it is. But for those of us that aren't and are playing by the books and the rules and all that, stop. Because it's making the overall YouTube experience suck. These last 2 years have been the most infuriating with this, especially this year. This year it has been so blatantly annoying. It's actually part of the reason why I haven't posted nearly as much this year, because it's so aggravating, and it makes me not to want to bother making that type of content. I would sooner just stream all the time if that's going to be the case, which is actually part of the reason why earlier in the year that's all I was doing, is because I was getting tired of it. I was getting so tired making video after video just to have them all, or almost all, mostly all, wind up with disabled comments. So get ready for some really weird videos in the future. They'll probably be scattered about just to give each of them a bit of time. That way I can actually get some replies on those. And once I've gotten a decent batch of those out, plus experiments and replies from the team, I will also be sharing that overall experience with you all and see what becomes of it. See if maybe it helps, or if it was just there was no point to begin with. And then once all of that is said and done, I will be weighing other options as to how I want to go about this. So thank you all so very much for watching this video. I hope this gave some kind of answer if you're struggling with disabled comments much like myself. Here's hope that in the future this will no longer be a problem for us, that the system can just do its own thing and only go after the ones that it actually is supposed to, and not unfairly go after the ones that there's no reason for it to. If you'd like to share your experience with disabled comments down in the comment section below, provided you can, feel free to do so. I would love to read about it and chat with you on it. And you all have a good one. I will see you in the next one.